Hi, I'm Susie from Women's Fight News, and today I'm here with the former WBO World Cruiserweight Champion, Enzo Maccarinelli. So thank you very much for joining me today.
Welcome.
And how are you?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Suffering a bit of long COVID. Not too bad, but it's not right. So, but I'll get over it. I'm fit, I'm strong, and I'll get over it.
That's good, that's
I hope.
good. So what effects are you having?
Just breathing difficulties more than anything. It's I'm training in the mornings, I'm doing little bits and bobs, I'm not doing as much as I can. Come 2 o'clock and just wipes you out. Come night time and start having bad breathing problems, and the breathing problems only pretty much at the night. So like I said, I get over it.
And recently we've seen that you went up to Leeds to be part of Ebanie Bridges' team up there, because you did some training with her on the build up to that fight against Gangloff. So how was that whole experience?
It was good. It was good. She's a perfectionist. She's a grafter. I got to give it to her. She's a grafter. She likes to question everything. She likes to know the breakdowns of everything. If I give her something to do, she wants to know why I'm giving it to do, why you're working. What she wants it broken down from top to bottom, which is good. Which is something I'm not used to either, because all my boys who fight for me, I tell them one thing. They know what I want. They know what I mean. With Ebanie, I have to explain a little bit more. But she's a pure grafter. She shocked me with her power. She shocked me with her tenacity, and yeah, it was a good experience. And you know, it was hard. It was hard at times with the two of us, because we had to gel in 3 weeks. But it was good. And the sparring I seen her do, she was looking brilliant in sparring.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about power, because obviously that's what she's getting known for. So you think she's got great power? Yeah,
she got fantastic power. But it's all about now. It's all about setting it up, landing, finding herself a little bit of space, finding a little bit of timing. And you know, people got to remember, she's only boxing 5 years, and she's boxing with her sort of her instinct. She wants to fight, she wants to get involved, and that's her mentality. I remember a couple of days before the fight, she was saying, I really want a good fight, and I said, no, if we take it out the first round, take it out. No, I really want to fight. I said, take it out the first round. But you know, she's learning, and you know, the little bit of time we had, the improvements she made with the space and the timing, and just giving herself a little bit of patience, she just improved no end. Unfortunately, with the situation on the night with busting her hand in the second round, and when her hand went, she's still good enough to win that fight comfortably with one hand. But when her calf went in the 4th round, I think she blew her calf muscle. She knows the reason why, and she'll never do that again. She sort of fought then with her heart. She had limited movement, and she had to grit it out, and she did. So I was obviously happy that she won, but I'm gutted she didn't really get to show people how good she is. But next time she will.
Yeah. And obviously you've been coaching for a while here in Swansea. So how long have you been coaching?
Well, even when I was world champion, I was still at the gym. I remember boxing on I won my title on a Saturday night, and on the Monday then I was in the corner with one of the boys. So I've been doing it for a long time, and 12 years ago my dad passed away, so me and my brother took it over properly. 2 years ago my brother passed away, so I'm pretty much on my own at the moment. I've got a couple of people coming in and out and helping me, but I got a lovely bunch of lads who need this gym, who they need it open. And you know, I'm happy to be there for them. I got some good kids up here, and I just enjoy coaching. Yeah. I'm probably more nervous coaching and when they fight than I fight myself.
So is it always been boys that you've coached? Is Ebanie the first female fighter?
I got a young girl who's come to the gym. She hasn't been with me long, but obviously Ebanie was the first. And to be honest, I've never really been, and I got to be honest, I've never really been into women's boxing. I just think the standards was, you'd always get the one girl, and then the other standards weren't nearly there. But lately, and I've used Ebanie against Courtenay for this one. That was a good fight. That wasn't a good woman's fight. That was a good fight. Same as Harper and Jonas. Same as Harper and Taylor. They were good fights. They weren't good women fights. They were good fights. So now you get to appreciate it more. And I know there's a bit of thing of the 3-minute rounds. Some women want 3-minute rounds. Some want to keep it 2. For me, I think the 2s are great. I think we've got more action. I think I think the way it's gone over the last couple of years, the action is just non-stop, especially when you've got two girls so well matched.
Yeah, going for it over the...
Yeah, just so well matched.
Yeah.
I think if we turn to 3-minute rounds and 12 rounds, I don't think you see as many good fights.
Yeah. Do you think because people use it as saying that there's not going to be equality until there's sort of equal number of rounds. Do you think there could be equality even with it sticking to the 2 minutes?
If the demand is there,
Yeah.
it's all about it's all about demand. If the demand is there to see you, and I just think the 2-minute rounds just make more of an exciting type of fight. And Courtenay and Ebanie, they just went hammer and tong for the 10 rounds. Jonas Harper, Taylor Pursoon as well. Just hammer and tong, and they were good, exciting fights. You add a minute on to each round.
Yeah.
I just think you see a bit more patience. You see probably see a bit more boxing skills, but you wouldn't see such good fights. So it's a sort of catch-22. It's sort of what they want, what they need, and it's not for me to say, but the women need to get together and maybe they can do something with it.
Yeah. So in terms of training females and males, have you noticed the difference between the two?
With Ebanie, no. She's my first girl properly, and everything I asked her to do, she's done like the boys. She obviously I only had 3 weeks with her. I would like to have a bit more time with her because she improved massively in the 3 weeks of what I went. I'm a puncher. I'm a puncher. I know how to finish. I've always been the same from a young age. I know how to finish. I know how to find space. I know how to find room. I know how to give myself a little pause, and that's what I was trying to get into it. Brian Cohen's a trainer, and he's done a fantastic job with her. And I just thought I could add what I see, and it did, and it was working well, I just got that she couldn't really show it on the night. She showed a tremendous heart again, which we all know she got, but next time she will.
Yeah, definitely. And how do you see, obviously having worked with Ebanie now and having seen some of her previous fights, how do you see a rematch with Shannon Courtenay going next time?
I was there on the night. I was sparring in London.
Okay.
And I was staying about 5 miles away from the arena, so I messaged Adam Smith, and he sort of got me in. So I got there, watched the fight, and it was a great fight. It was a great fight. It could have gone either way. I thought the judges were very harsh. It was people behind me in the Courtenay's camp who pretty much had it going level going into the last round. And everyone used no excuses. And I spoke to her and I said, in the lead up to that fight, I think she had three weeks since her last fight, or 3 or 4 weeks. So in 3 weeks, she crossed 3 different time zones. It does play a big part.
Yeah.
And I think I'd love to see the fight again. I think a lot of people would love to see the fight again. I'm not sure Courtenay really wants it, and I don't know why, because it was a fantastic fight.
Yeah.
And I think I just really love to see it again. And everyone talks about the head clash, closing her eye, and obviously sort of a disability in the fight. But that head clash probably caused concussion as well. Yeah. So she's fought with concussion from the 3rd round onwards. So I'd like to see a fresh Ebanie, a 10-week camp Ebanie, and let's see who the better girl is.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be an exciting one to watch.
Yeah, it will, because Ebanie comes to fight. She knows the mistakes she made that night. She spoke to me. Yeah. She knows the mistakes. She knows certain aspects that she done wrong. She knows certain things that she done right that will work again. She's a very intelligent girl.
And was it these reasons why you wanted to work with her and train with her?
No, it was basically I had an offer. And I spoke before for about 2 years. Me and Ebanie been talking, and I remember watching the fights from America, and I put a tweet out, and she'd come be the first one. It was a decent time for her watching the fights from America. We like 5 o'clock in the morning, so she was the first one coming in, and we go back and forth and we talk boxing. And I realised it was the first time I was speaking to a girl through boxing, and who actually knows her stuff as well. And I've watched her train, I've watched her progress, and I had a phone call, and I thought to myself, yeah, you know, I know she's a grafter. I know she worked hard. I know it was a challenge for me as well. But no, I was excited for the prospect, and you know, she didn't let me down. She done everything I asked her. Obviously, she questioned a lot of things because we had 3 weeks to try and gel. It took us a couple of days to get in. There were certain things I wanted, which she couldn't quite get at the time. But the more it went on, you know, she sort of got it. And you know, watching spar my amateur boys who are really good kids, taking up with Lee Selby, spar Katie Healy, Nicola, she sparred Nicola, and then Chantelle Cameron. And I bet the best spar she done was Chantelle Cameron. I think she's the type of person who goes to someone's level. Yeah. And the most she impressed me a couple of times in the sparring, but Chantelle Cameron was the most impressive spar she done.
So I was going to ask you about that. How was that to watch?
It was really good, and you know, it was a big weight difference. Yeah. And very respectful of Chantelle. She come in, she sort of took it a bit. I wouldn't say take it too light, but she, you know, she knew she was a lot heavier. She knew she was a lot bigger, so she refrained a little bit for a round or two. Yeah. But then she had to try and crack Ebanie to keep her off. You know, Ebanie was coming at her, and it turned into a really, really good spar. And you know, I think Ebanie earned Chantelle's respect, and Chantelle's a lovely girl as well. But I think Ebanie earned Chantelle's respect that day.
Yeah, no, that would have been a good one to watch. That would sell tickets to that one.
Yeah, it was a great watch, and I was very impressed with the two of them. You know, I was impressed with the way everything we've been working on, she sort of put in to that spar. But I was also impressed with some of the things Chantelle were doing as well, which I don't see many girls doing. So it was just a good watch.
Yeah, I'm talking about Chantelle because obviously they've got the super lightweight tournament coming up, and that was all sort of announced the weekend in Leeds while you're up there. So obviously you know Chantelle from the sparring. Obviously Kaylee Reese because she's part of Ebanie's team, and then obviously you've got Jessica
Kamara.
Yeah, and you've got Mary McGee.
So
so obviously they're going to do the two head-to-head. So you've got Kaylee versus Jessica, and you've got Mary versus Chantelle as the first. So how do you see all that playing out?
I obviously I've seen Kaylee box before. I've seen Chantelle box before. I haven't seen the others. So when we were up in Leeds and they were there and the fights were announced, I sort of watched a little bit of Kamara and watched a little bit of McGee, and you know, I'm that type of person. I like to know what's what. You know, people ask me for my prediction and stuff like that. I can't really say, oh yeah, Chantelle or Kaylee, because I've seen them and I haven't seen the other two. Yeah. But I do believe it's going to be a Chantelle Kaylee final. Yeah. And I think it'll be a great final as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's a very interesting one. Definitely.
Yeah, it's good. I just think Kaylee's going to have too much for Kamara, and I think Chantelle's going to have too much for McGee. I can see it being them two in a final. I think it's going to be a great final as well.
It's nice because it's great that they've got these tournaments to get excited about women's boxing, you know, because we're getting so much more depth now in some of these divisions. And it's things like, I think for bantamweight, especially, like, it's getting so much deeper, and you've got all these new prospects coming through, new amateurs. It's going to be great to get like one of these World Boxing Super Series going on in different weights. Yeah,
it's just been great for women's boxing, and you know, I think in America it's always been Lou DiBella. Yeah. You know, he's been a big advocate for women's boxing. Obviously, he manages Serrano. I don't know what's going on there. I'm hearing bits and bobs, but he's been a great advocate for women's boxing. And now Eddie Hearn. You know, Eddie Hearn's jumped on the market. He's seen these talented girls come through. You can see the talent coming through from obviously the GB squads and things like that, and he's put together some good fights. You know, got to take your hat off to him. He's hit the market that no one else wanted to. Not saying no one else could, but no one else seemed to want to. So he did. He got that, and he built some stars. You know, Katie Taylor's a massive star, and Ebanie's a massive star. But I do believe that's from herself. You know, she's a self-promoting king or queen or whatever you want to call it. You know, she knows how to hit the media. She knows how to generate interest. But on the other side of things as well, she gives back as well. You know, when she came over last time, she stayed here for a couple of weeks. I think she went all over the country. She went to different gyms. She always great crack on Twitter. She interacts with all her fans. And like I said, Eddie Hearn has made women's boxing I was going to say tolerable then, but it's not tolerable. He made it exciting. You know, we've seen some great fights, and it was always if you've seen it, and I said earlier, but it was always when you've seen a woman's fight, you would say, it was good fight for a pair of girls. It was good for. Now we've seen they were good fights.
Yeah.
You know, the last couple of big fights I've seen, they were good fights. Not good women's fights. They were good fights.
That's it. And I think that's what it's great, because that's what everyone's striving towards, to
and
just be boxing.
Yeah, I've grown up men's boxing. You know, I'm not invested in women's boxing at all. But when you see some of the fights that are going on, you see the not so much the talent, but the heart they show in, the grit they show in, and you know, it's starting to get exciting. Starting to get exciting. It's getting people excited as well.
That's it.
You know, when I walked out with Ebanie at the Leeds crowd, she had a little chant. They were going to chant. You know, she loved it, and you know, it was great for her. You know, that's what she wanted.
Yeah.
She wanted people to. I know what she does with the weigh-ins and the way she acts and stuff like that, but predominantly she wants people to watch her fight.
Yeah.
She wants people to acknowledge her for her fighting ability, and people are starting to believe. You know, I think the Beck Connolly fight showed that. No one's done that at the Beck before.
No, that's right.
You know, I've heard excuses of why you went so quick and stuff. Fact of the matter is, she set Beck Connolly up. She had a game plan. She knew Beck would react to every punch she throws. She'd react to every feint. She watched that. She set that up, and it was a cracking shot to finish.
Yeah, no, definitely. And talking about, you mentioned about Amanda Serrano. Obviously, there's some super fights that people are talking about in women's boxing that want to be set up. So one of them is Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor.
Massive fight.
So how would you see that fight going?
Massive fight. I think Serrano has to come up in weight.
Because she's super featherweight.
I think it's a good fight, and you know, she's a bit of a knockout artist, but you know, I haven't seen too much of Serrano. I have watched a bit, but I haven't seen too much. And you know, I've been reading other people's reviews, and they talk about the opponents she has had, and you know, things like that, and you know, it's sort of misleading record. She is good, but the knockouts are a misleading record. There's not many top level girls on that. When you look at Katie Taylor, some of the fights she had, the fights with Pursoon, was it McCaskill? Yes, beat McCaskill, who's gone on to beat Perkhouse. So you know, I'd have to favour Katie Taylor. But I think it's not an easy fight for both. But I just think, you know, seeing Katie up in Leeds, see her training, watching her live. She's a very, very good boxer, as everyone can see. But she's also shown she's got a little bit of grit in her as well. Have Serrano got that sort of grit? I think she have, but I don't think we've actually seen it yet.
No, it'd be great. It'd be great. What a fight that'll be.
Yeah, it'd be a cracking fight. I think it'd be an exciting fight as well.
Yeah, definitely. Because like you say, it's the punch, you know, the puncher versus the sort of excellent sort of boxer. So
yeah, she's Katie Taylor is she's mastered the art of the sweet science. She's really good. Serrano's no slouch in that department either, but she is a banger. She likes to take people out.
Definitely.
Girl after my own heart.
And obviously another one that everyone's talking about lately, and especially as they've just been signed to Sky Sports, is Marshall versus Shields.
No, that's a great fight, and that sort of interests me more than Taylor Serrano. Only because I just think with the press conferences, I think they're going to get in each other's skin. Because Marshall, she's very laid back, she's very quiet, she's very unassuming, and she's got the trainer like that as well, Peter Fury. Yeah. Great man, great trainer, and he's chilled as well. I know he can get angry when he wants to get angry, but he's very chilled. He takes it all in his stride, and he's a marvellous trainer. And I think Marshall just gets under Claressa's skin. I think she gets under Claressa's skin. And Claressa is a very, very good boxer. She boxes. Yeah. She's a supreme boxer. Whereas Marshall's unorthodox. She's a banger as well. But it's a very interesting fight. But that's going to be the press conference. Going to be great, because I think Marshall don't have to do much. Yeah. And she's just going to get under Claressa's skin. And if it was one person, I think could knock Claressa out of her game plan and knock her out of her stride, it's Savannah Marshall.
She comes out with some classics actually on Twitter, I have to say, Marshall.
Yeah,
just little one-liners, and I'm like,
yeah, and that's all she does, and that's all she does. And I think Claressa, it eats at her. It eats at her because I think she's a very good boxer, but when you look at how they're liked, I don't think she's very well liked. I think she got this arrogance about her, and I think people don't really take to that. But she is very, very good.
Personally, I'm a massive fan of Shields because I think she just achieves so much.
Oh, she's brilliant.
And actually, I think for her age, because don't forget she's been growing up almost through boxing, and been thrown into the spotlight quite quickly. And I think yes, there might have been things said in the past, but I feel like she's grown up through the boxing. I think lately, some of the things she comes out with, she's so sort of wise with some of the things she comes out with. I think she's and for what she's been through and her background, I think she's just done brilliantly. But that's what's interesting is the fact that it's what a crazy kind of matchup in a way, because everyone's going at it saying they're not sure which way it could go, this fight. Yet when you look at the records, how much Shields has achieved and who she's fought, and then you've got Marshall, who hasn't fought those big names, hasn't got those belts, but then you can see she's got bags of that potential. Oh, yeah. And I just can't wait to see what that potential gets to.
And she's willing to challenge it against the best in the world.
Yeah.
She knows. I know Peter Fury, he's going to have a sore on form. He's going to have a spot on everything she does. And but like I said, it's a massive, massive task. And I just think with Marshall's style, I think it's something Claressa hasn't seen.
Yeah.
It's not many girls that can fight like Marshall, because she's sort of very elusive, like a Huey Fury, but she's a bit more aggressive with it as well. And it's a very, very interesting fight. And it's another one where, you think of Sky, for example. This is a major coup for them.
Yeah.
This is a fight that everyone wanted to see. Everyone talks about, for a ladies' fight, this is a fight that everyone wants to see. So it's a major coup for Sky. And they've gone all out to get this fight. So big up to them as well. So, but it's a very, very interesting fight. Yeah, you're right. They've done well there, because when they suddenly came out with the list of all the female fighters they've signed, it's unbelievable. I can't believe how many they've signed. I remember when Eddie Hearn went to the zone. Yeah. People think, Sky are finished. Sky won't be finished. Sky are a juggernaut. Sky been in boxing for 30 years. They've got to start afresh now. They've got a promoter, which is a youngster, but I'm hearing they got someone in the background as well who used to be on Matchroom. Yeah. So it's just good competition. Yeah. BT, Sky, Channel 5, The Zone, Fight TV as well, from some fights from the States. It's some good fights, and competition is good. Competition is good for the fighters. Competition is good for the fans to watch. But I think they need to sort out times and dates, because sometimes when you have fights on the same night, it's like we got a show in Liverpool, October the 9th. Yeah. Same night as Fury Wilder, and Frank's got a show on that night as well. Yeah. So they're gonna, it's not good for the fans. Yeah. That side of things. And I know Wilder Fury's in the night, so it doesn't really affect the Liverpool show, but the UK version of the card, you're gonna have to take one, watch the other, or be like me and some of the others, laptop TV. Get the bank of monitors out. Just pick which one you want to watch. Like.
No, you're right, and it does always seem to happen, like you get some weekends with nothing, and then like you said, you get it all on the
and just like I said, competition is good, but not on the same night. Not on the same night. I think on the same night puts fans in a position where even if you're doing the TV and the laptop, you're not really watching. You pick one fight to watch, then you see something else, and then your eyes will wander. So for me, I don't think it's great. Yeah, I will do it, but I don't think it's great.
And talking about Sky, how they've got a lot of new fighters coming through, new female fighters that are having their debuts. Is there any sort of prospects, sort of female prospects that are coming through that you think would be great?
You just watch from the GB squad, the likes of Sandy Ryan, Raymond Chapman coming through as well. It's exciting, but I know people think that because you're an elite level amateur, is going to try and progress to the pros,
Yeah.
transition into the pro game, and it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. It's a different sport. It's a completely different sport, but the potential is there.
Yeah.
You know, Courtenay is another one. She's only had a couple of fights. She's a very, very talented girl.
Yeah.
But nothing is guaranteed. And I think a lot of them and a lot of people think just because we're elite level amateurs, like I said, they're going to come in, they're going to take over, and they might do. The potential is there. But it's a different sport.
Yeah.
It's a different sport, and we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. But it's exciting. Getting the talent pool a bit deeper. It's
more work for you as well.
Yeah, yeah. I was doing the writing up the schedule this week, and I was thinking it's getting longer and longer each week now. Which is nice.
But it's good, and you know, it's at the end of the day, these women, they graft just as hard as the men. They put the effort in just as hard as the men. You know, Terry Harper, Natasha Jonas, Katie Taylor, you just go to Ebanie. You know, they put as much effort in as anyone you've seen. So, you know, good on them, and I'm glad they're getting a bit of exposure, and I'm glad they're getting a bit of limelight, and I'm glad they're getting paid.
Yeah, definitely. And going back to yourself now and the gym, so how are things going with your boys at the moment?
It's just all up, you know, we've got no dates or for fights and stuff like that, and I've had a couple of new kids come through. We're about 10, and it's been good to spend a little bit of time with them as well, to transition them and get them ready to fight. And it's the thing with me with my boys, I won't put them in to fight just for the sake to get a bit of experience. I put them in to win. I'll give away a bit of weight, I'll give away a couple of fights, but they are going in to win, so they're going to be prepared. So, but it's been nice just having a bit of time, to be with them and teach them bits and bobs, and I can't wait for the season when it starts.
And what about yourself? Because obviously you said, unfortunately, you've got some long COVID to deal with. Is there a possibility of you wanting to fight again? Because we obviously, with social media, we know you train a lot. So
look, I'm literally, every time I get to a point where I'm ready. I'm just as good as I was 10 years ago, and I swear, not as good as I was in prime, but I'm certainly better than what I was when I beat over Mackenzie. I'm fitter, I'm stronger, I'm mentally healthier, and something happens, puts me back. You know, I'm not going to discuss too much at the moment, but it just puts me back, and you know, it's sort of something telling me not to fight. Because if I look at my career, it's littered. I'd say about 20 fights in my career, I was less than 70%. I'd say 20, about 5 I was less than 70%, then I was 50%, and as a couple, I was less than 20%. I shouldn't have been nowhere near the ring. Some I won, some I lost. And you know, there's no excuses, no one made me fight. I've gone in and I've done it myself. But when I look back at certain fights that really irritate me, because it wasn't me. And you know, but like I said, I got no excuse, I got no one to blame. No one's made me fight. I've gone in, and some I've won, some I've lost. But at this stage of my career, if I'm not 100%, I'm not doing it. And it's a pity, because I still think I could beat a lot of people. You know, I've been doing a bit of sparring, I feel good, I feel strong. But if I'm not 100%, I'm not going to do it. And you know, when you look at the travesty with Evander Holyfield last week, you know, that's a fight I'd like. I beat Belfort. He annoyed the living daylights of me, just not because he boxed Holyfield, not because he beat Holyfield, just the way he celebrated after. And if I was medically fit at the moment, I'd straight be on the phone. I'd be calling him out, I'd be calling him everything, and I'd put that right for the love of Evander, because that was just wrong. That was just wrong. How a commission sanctioned him to be anything. He wasn't a pro fight, which we've seen, but it's just no way that should have been sanctioned anyway whatsoever. And
during the pandemic, obviously with boxing on, you know, wasn't around so much, and obviously everyone in lockdown, you became a bit of the hero on Twitter, because you were putting out your videos telling everyone to get out, exercise, and
it just started off as a joke. I went for a run from the gym. We've got a hill, and the hill's like, it's only 2 miles, but it's like that. And I got up to the top of the hill, and I always have a bit of good laugh with people on Twitter, and I just said, oh, look, struggling this morning, got the hill. So cut a long story short, don't be a pussy, and get up that hill, or get up and do some work. And from there, people were messaging me, oh, Enzo, that's brilliant and stuff. I did get the odd few were saying, oh, I suffer mentally, and you're calling me a pussy. And obviously they don't follow me, so they don't know how to take me, but 95% of them, they knew where I was coming from and they could relate to that. And they just asked me to do one. I think I done one for about 4 months every single day, just to get people out and stuff like that. And it was good. And I did say, because I was on DMs, Enzo, brilliant, thank you so much. And I said, look, I'm not after no praise, I'm not after nothing. I just want you all to get out and get some work done and just better yourself and be healthy and that way. But some of the messages I had, they were really heart-wrenching. Some of them, some people who've never trained before or in such a rut and just got out going for walks and thanking me and stuff like that. And it was great. And I sort of like to think I'm a selfless person. I prefer people to be happier than myself. Yeah. If I can help people in any way whatsoever, I will.
Yeah. No, it was lovely because, like I said, you could see some of the messages coming through and how much it meant to people. And have that constant. It was kind of nice to have that constant with your videos to know that.
So I remember lockdown stopped and I said, oh look guys, this is my last lockdown, stuff like that. Yeah. And I thought that was it. And then a few weeks later, we had another lockdown, so I had to start it all over again. But I didn't let anyone down, and I kept up on them. It was some days. It helped me as well, because some days I just didn't want to get out. I just didn't want to do nothing. I was just being lazy, just being stuck in a rut. And I thought to myself, well, no, some of these people, they rely on me now to get up, get them out, get them work. And what type of person I would be if I'd done a video and I'm actually sat on my ass watching TV, eating junk food. Yeah. So it got me out as well, got me out doing stuff. And I'm glad it helped a lot of people.
No, that was good. And I think sometimes when
I hope you got out and worked as well.
Do you know, I did actually, because I was going to say a couple of times I'll be out running early and I'll be thinking, I should message Enzo and say, look, I'm out. I
think that was the one thing me and Ebanie should have done. We should have gone running up there. I mean, I could have said I got a guest show with me, and she could have said, "Don't be a pussy, get out and work." So maybe next time.
Definitely. Brilliant. Well, it's been great chatting, Enzo. And thank you so much for your time and for talking about women's boxing.
Welcome, sis.
Thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit like. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future content. And why not check out any other videos on the channel? You can follow Women's Fight News on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.